in the city center of the first-tier cities, is only $100 a month. The guy thought he had found a great bargain. However, he didn't notice the dark thing on the ceiling. On his first day of moving in, the guy twisted his waist, but in order to save money, he didn't go to the hospital, thinking that a good night's sleep would heal it. Unexpectedly, strange noises started coming from upstairs, in the middle of the night. The next day, he went upstairs to investigate, but it was eerily empty with no one living there. The guy found it odd. And yet the noises persisted. It was likely that there were mice causing trouble, but the guy didn't pay much attention to it. However, the noises from upstairs became louder and louder at night. He saw a creepy human head watching him. He saw it again to confirm. He got scared and immediately turned on the light, but the suspicious object, resembling a human head on the ceiling, was gone. The guy felt anxious and uneasy. He was mentally disturbed by the scare. He didn't want to give up such a cheap place to rent. He insisted on taking his online classes in the house. However, his teacher said he never attended any of the classes. Guy was perplexed because he was always present for his classes. Why would his records disappear? He couldn't figure it out, and he didn't know why. His health deteriorated day by day. It was as if his energy was being drained, and he became weaker and weaker. He dared not go to bed early every night, for he had to keep watch for the appearance of that head on the ceiling. His girlfriend called him and asked what he had been doing during this period. Guy didn't want to worry his girlfriend, so he didn't mention the strange incidents he had encountered. He told his girlfriend that he would see a woman every night. The woman's head would appear from the ceiling. To make his girlfriend believe him, he even aimed his phone camera at the ceiling to show his girlfriend that creepy head. The guy couldn't hold on any longer. He went to the hospital for a checkup, but strangely, except for the lingering waist injury from moving, his body had no other issue. When the doctors heard that he lived in that cheap rental house, they kindly advised him to move out, as a woman had died in that apartment building 6 months ago, and the location where he died is the room upstairs, right above the young man. The young man finally understood why nobody lived upstairs anymore. Only someone like him, a sucker, would rent a place like this. The young man pretended to be calm, but the truth was, he didn't have enough money to move somewhere else. Tried to contact the real estate agent to terminate the lease, but they refused to acknowledge that someone had died there. The young man had no choice but to continue living there. At night, he dared not stay in his room and slept against the door instead. However, the noises from the ceiling continued without stop. The sound grew louder and louder, causing the young man to panic. He saw in front of him. But after the initial terror, he felt more angry. When a person is extremely poor, they no longer fear ghosts. Young man went upstairs, hoping to calm the female ghost in the room. However, the door was tightly locked. Helpless, he turned around only to find the door opening. At that moment, it was as if the female ghost was inviting him inside. With courage, the young man walked in and arrived at the same spot where the female ghost had appeared downstairs. This place was most likely where the female ghost died. Before the young man finally understood what the noise was all about, the female ghost had been living here alone. Perhaps she had fallen ill or encountered an assailant. Before her death, he made some noise to seek help from downstairs, but nobody came to his rescue. That's why she continued to haunt the residents downstairs. After her death, the young man was shocked and paralyzed with fear. He didn't dare to move. However, in the next second, he saw a girl with long hair in front of him, and then suddenly, his girlfriend had come to visit him. Now both of them were about to die, although the female ghost disappeared as soon as his girlfriend appeared. The young man was still terrified. He wanted to escape with his girlfriend quickly, but the door wouldn't open no matter how hard they pushed. They desperately tried to force the door open, but just then, that girl was standing behind them. They scared and tried hard to escape. Without looking back, they managed to escape. The next day, the young man informed the real estate agent above what he had witnessed. This time the agent had nothing to say and finally agreed to refund his deposit and fee. The young man didn't know if there would be others who would fall into the same trap, but from that day on, he would never be tempted by cheap rental offer below market price again.